Good morning, friends. How are you today? It's Heather at Bush Puppy Farm. If you are new here, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. And if you've been here before, thank you very much for coming back. It means a lot to me. So today is going to be a mishmash of jobs that I've got to get done before tomorrow. I'm hosting a workshop tomorrow, building Thanksgiving centerpieces, and I've got stuff to do to get ready for that. But we are out here at the farm. I wanted to check on things, and y'all, so we've had just a little bit of rain. It's been barely measurable in the rain gauge, which is a bummer. But tonight, the storm that's been basically just sitting off the coast is supposed to come on actually this afternoon and into tonight and most of the day tomorrow. So I'm hoping that we'll get at least a quarter inch of rain out of that. But when I arrived here, I looked out at the Bio 360 mesh and I thought, oh no, the deer have gotten in. So I don't know if you can see all those dark black spots. I totally panicked, and then I realized, duh, it's just water. It's literally just water sitting on top. The deer did not jump the fence and walk around on this. I thought it was like a bunch of puncture holes. So that is a relief. Okay, so just gonna do a couple of quick things out here today because like I said, I have lots of other stuff to do. I had wanted to spend some time weeding. That's not gonna happen. That'll be for next week. And next week we're supposed to have sun all week, which is nice, but I'm really looking forward to the actual rainy season. So, but as you can see, it's just been a couple of days and the grass is just, oh, yeah. So again, this doesn't even work with a hoe. I literally have to come in here and pull it up by the chunks. By hand. So what we're going to do is I'm going to direct sow a couple of packets of status in here. I've never direct sown status before, but it can't hurt. I have loads of status packets at home, so I'm definitely going to start more seed in January to transplant out here, but I figure it can't hurt to put some in the ground now since I have enough. And the other thing we're doing is I bought a cover for the IBC tote because since it is opaque, you know, once it gets water in it, it can form algae, and we don't want that. So the cover I got is black, and it will seal it up, and that way it won't be able to grow any algae because there'll be no light. So I'm going to put that on first, and it should fit. See, the cover says it fits the 275 gallon ones, so we'll see. And then I got some wire baskets for the remainder of the organization in the shed. Well, you get what you pay for. This was very inexpensive on Amazon, and it's very thin. So I don't see this lasting more than one season, but that's okay. It'll do for now. Okay, so there's a top flap here to go around the stuff up top. Oh, there it is. Okay, well, I mean, that works as advertised. And the zipper in the front's nice because you can open it to see how much water you've got in there. The final thing I need to do here for this, once we start getting water, is I need to get a fitting for the spout so that I can actually fill buckets and stuff from it, and it won't just be this big giant spout. All right, let's go set up the wire baskets for the shed. Pretty dark in here, so I apologize. So I got these little wire baskets because I want to be able to hang them up here to hold gloves and stuff like that, which will be really nice. I think I can move these. Yep, I can move these down. Yep, I think that's what I'm going to do. So So all of these tools don't need to be up here. I was just kind of playing around with that, but I think, all right, that's fine. And then I can put all the gloves in here. I don't use all of these gloves myself. Some of these, like these are my like gauntlet gloves, which help with thorns and things like that. And then I have my own gloves, but I also keep extra pairs out here for my family when they come to help. So, all right, so that's off of the shelf. Not sure what I'm gonna do with this one yet, but we'll figure it out. I wanna get a little metal pail to hang as well, so I can put my tools in it up top. This stuff here is for the fencing, and so eventually it will go away. And in the meantime, this is about as good as it gets for organization. All right, next job, status. So direct sewing is not recommended for status, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Mostly because, like I said, I'll be able to start transplants from seed in January with no problem because I have tons of seed. So this is kind of a like, well, we'll just see what happens. It's a total experiment. We are going to get, like I said, more rain, and so these seeds need light to germinate. So they just barely need to be covered. As long as there's not a lot of wind, this rain will probably just water them in. And I mean, the soil's pretty wet right now. So we'll see what happens. Like I said, this is a total experiment. I don't really care one way or the other because I'll be able to have new seedlings in the spring. All right, so this one that I'm gonna toss out is formula mix. And status seeds are pretty small. See, they look kind of like flaxseed. I'm just gonna put a few around and I'm gonna press them in. They need light to germinate, so I'm not covering them. And then over here, just gonna pull up some of this grass and stuff. I'm actually kind of looking forward to coming in and spending some time just sitting in front of the beds, pulling weeds. That's actually gonna be somewhat therapeutic. Except in those areas like where the ranunculus are, where it's like a lawn at this point. That part will feel overwhelming. I'll just have to take it one little bit at a time. But after this stuff comes out and I go to flip these beds, then I will put Bio360 down here. And even though I don't want to use that stuff forever, for the next couple seasons, it might be important until I can kill off the seed bed for all the weeds. All right, so the next one I'm planting is white. And again, it doesn't really matter if this works or not. I kind of like that freedom to feel. Status is highly productive for me. And so I'm not too worried, even if I only end up with 15 or 20 plants. That's actually going to be plenty for me. But I do like having the multiple colors. So, all right, next thing I need to do is dump the bucket trap from the mice because it caught some and they're dead and I need to toss them. I'm not going to show that. Okay, so now I am off to Trader Joe's to get snacks and goodies and beverages for tomorrow's workshop. We're doing a Thanksgiving centerpiece workshop. I did not grow the flowers for this workshop because, as you know, everything came out of the ground in October. So my attendees know that. But basically, I'm teaching them how to make a centerpiece, and we're focusing on not using floral foam, which is terrible for the environment. It releases microplastics into the environment, and it's not sustainable. So instead, we use crumpled up chicken wire. You can also use floral tape, this thin clear tape that goes across the top of the vase. You can make a grid to help you put flowers in and get them in the right directions that you want. Because in this workshop, we're going to be using, instead of vases, we're going to be using compotes. So I thought this was really pretty. It's gold on the outside and it's white on the inside, and it can be used for anytime, but holidays especially. So this could work for any of the winter holidays, I would think. So it's, you know, it's a wide aperture here, which means that most of the time if you put flowers in here, they're going to flop. So you need something in there to support them. And it used to be that we would use floral foam for that. But it's really, the industry's trying to get away from it. It's really a horrible, horrible product. So we're going to use crumbled up chicken wire. That forms a great base and you won't see it. But like I said, you can also put a grid of clear tape across the top, and the floral tape is very thin. It's like a 1/4 inch or less, like 1/8 of an inch. And so it gives you a nice little grid that you can pop things in, and it's invisible as well. So, all right, I'm going to go get some goodies, and then we'll head back home and I'll show you all of the dried flowers that I'm going to pull out for this workshop, because it's not going to be about just fresh stuff. They're also going to be able to hunt around in my personal garden and take stems and grasses and any of the flowers I still have in the front garden they can use as well. So they'll get a lot of choice. They'll get like choice of flowers that are already cut and prepared for them, and then they'll be able to go cut their own materials. And then, like I said, we'll have lots of dried materials for them as well. Okay, when your garage is your flower, studio, garden shed, bike, mechanic, locker, and gym, you have to move things around a lot every time you want to do something. We'd love to be able to resolve that problem, but that means another building, and we don't have that, so. All right, here are the selections for the workshop tomorrow. I have fresh and dried options here, as well as some things that we haven't touched that are actually in the landscape. So you can see we've got sunflowers and different mums. We've got some protea here, solidago, some cress. Got some broom corn that's dried, dried feverfew and status, and dried straw flower. So I also have this hedge of Nandina, which I absolutely hate, but which a lot of florists use. It's got very pretty fall color. So this is something, I don't care how much they cut on it, and it's not good for market bouquets because I don't get long stems on it, but it's great for vases and compotes because you don't need a long stem for those. And I still have some marigolds out here, orange and yellow. Some of them are looking pretty awful, but there's others that are nice. We have tons of salvia that they can cut. However, salvia tends to shatter a bit once it dries, but it can still be really pretty in a vase. And I have this gorgeous Goldstrom Rudbeckia. This is a perennial Rudbeckia. Little sprays of those pretty, pretty flowers. That would look beautiful too. And I have a whole selection of Japanese maples in the yard, which have beautiful color, and you know, a few stems off of these is not going to be a problem. And then I also have, if they want green, this Pittosporum Silver Sheen, which are gorgeous, and these beautiful grass heads. These look really, really pretty in arrangements. So I think that it's going to be fun. I think everybody's going to produce a really cool arrangement, and they're all going to be unique. So I will try to take some photos for you. Maybe I'll post those on my shorts or on Instagram, and you guys can see what we come up with. All right, I gotta go pick my son up from school. It's Friday afternoon. He's gotta go to work, but then he's super excited because it's Thanksgiving week and he's off all week. So thanks so much for hanging out with me today, you guys. I hope you have a wonderful time in your garden, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.